Today I'm going to show you exactly how to start a blog for your YouTube channel. I'll call this YouTube blogging for beginners. And I understand this might feel a bit confusing because your YouTube channel kind of seems like a blog but with videos, so why would you want to duplicate that into blog posts? Well, part of being a successful video creator is getting your videos seen because we can't always rely on the YouTube algorithm. So starting a blog to support the reach of your videos is a great way to expand your footprint on the internet as a whole. Welcome back, friends, to my exciting series all about creating a website using Wix. And today we are going to start a blog using Wix. So Wix is a fabulous website builder that I've been using to completely rebrand and rebuild my website, which is now live at aliciameherte.com. Wix has kindly sponsored this series of videos, including this video, so I can explain the benefits of building out different aspects of a website and show you step by step how to create one yourself. So in the last video of this series, I got deep on why it's important for every YouTuber or content creator to have a website. And where will you send them to learn more? You see, even if YouTube is your primary platform for content, your website is where your business lives. It's where you welcome your viewers to your actual world. Your website is your world. So can you show me exactly how to create a website as a YouTuber? And that skit was so much fun to make. So if your website is your world and a solid home for your brand behind your YouTube channel, then each blog post you create for your website is the solid home for each video that you publish on that channel. If you'd like to catch up, then check out that video or just grab the link below and jump into Wix right now to begin building your own website. And if you already have your website, then jump back in so we can start building a blog. So to clarify, a website generally contains some cool photos, some basic information, and a contact form. It's the framework that we built in the very last video. A blog, however, is a catalog of content that's updated regularly, similar to a YouTube channel, and that's what we're building today. The purpose of adding a blog to a website is to expand that website. Each individual blog post that you put out there is another opportunity for your content to fall into the keyword searches that you are targeting. And when you build your blog posts around videos that you've already created, it's a chance for those videos to be seen even more. Plus, a website with a regularly updated blog has a much greater chance of being discovered in search and getting a higher volume of Google traffic overall. So when YouTube blogging is done consistently and with great content, it can have as much power to bring in viewers to your YouTube videos as the videos do themselves. Now, when you first get into Wix, if you don't yet have your site set up, then the process will look something like this. Create your own beautiful blog. We'll say start now. We're going to log in or create an account. And then here you would say create new site. You'd probably want to select blog. And I like to create sites with the fantastic Wix editor, so I'll just say edit a template. And here there are tons of gorgeous templates to choose from, and they are all highly customizable, so you can definitely create exactly the blog you want. I'm just going to take a look at this movie blog to see kind of just like how the posts are laid out and how things look. I also like the look of this fashion blog, which is a bit more traditional editorial style. And of course, we've got a peek at the travel blog. And in order to see it as it would be displayed live, you can select View Full Demo and actually interact with the template to really see how things are going to look. And then to move forward with editing this template, you would just say, edit this site. And then here you'll be transported into the Wix editor. Now, before you actually set up a blog within a website, you'll need to consider where and how you would like your blog posts to appear. So there's lots of different ways to display your content. The most basic way would be to display a stream of posts right here on the home page, just to show your viewer what's most recent in your world. And this is what I'd recommend to anyone who's just starting out creating content. So right now I have my videos displayed, but they aren't linking to actual blog posts, so they aren't giving that extra bulk to the website in that same way. They're just linking back to YouTube. So you could display your blog posts on this homepage in a similar manner, or if you wanted to display them chronologically all on one page, you could start a whole separate tag that just says blog and display them there. And again, check out the previous video to this if you want the details on how to set up the structure of the tabs and the pages and all of that website stuff. And if you don't want to display them chronologically and you do have enough content to begin organizing things into categories or even taking your readers on a journey based on their skill level, kind of like a start here and then go here kind of thing, you can create separate pages specifically for different parts of your blog. So here we are in the Wix editor, and I will weave my blog posts throughout this website in a few different ways, but just to get started, I will focus here on the Discover Video Gear page. I'll use the Pages tab to get over to it. And by organizing things this way, I can show you how to highlight a group of blog posts that focus on one topic but aren't necessarily sequential in my content. So this page is nice and cleared out, and I will just go to the handy add button and go to blog. And I'll just say add to site. Which blog is right for you? So I could do a blog with a members only area, and I suppose I could charge a membership fee for that. I could blog with a writing team, so if you want to do like a collaborative thing, but for now I'm just going to start with a basic blog. And once that is in place, you'll see here this new little pen tool. That will be my handy access area. So that's how I can go in and out of the different options to work with my blog. And conveniently, Wix throws in some blog posts for you. So rather than starting from scratch, you can just go into these posts and change things and then edit the style and design as you go. And if we click on any of the posts, we can go into the Manage Posts area. So here's sort of the back end representation of those blog posts that were auto-populated. And I will just click Edit to edit the first blog post. Now I'm going to show you exactly how I've been putting together my blog posts for my YouTube video on AMA.tv, my former website, for years. I certainly never gave my all to my blog. It was just kind of nice to have a place where each piece of my content could live besides on the YouTube page. I could also elaborate on things more if I wanted to, and the blog post was just more shareable than a YouTube video is, so you're going to get a further reach on Facebook by sharing a blog post, and also Pinterest and things like that. So I think that gave it some legs as well, and it definitely brought traffic into my videos, my YouTube videos, especially the early ones before my YouTube channel actually picked up its own speed. So here is my original website slash blog. And what I would do to start, I would just put in like a line of teaser text, just kind of like whatever popped into my head. Probably not the best for SEO, but we'll talk about this later. And then I would basically just copy over the video description. And this blog post is kind of weak. It actually does have a lot of product links. Oh, and contest details. That was a contest. So that was nice to have a place to put in like contest details. So I'd, write that paragraph. Sometimes I'd elaborate on that paragraph. That definitely helps the blog post. But sometimes I didn't have time to. And then I would link the video. And then, because it's my own website rather than YouTube, I would suggest my own videos. And then here's an example of an older one where maybe I had a little bit more time and wrote more of a blog post and put in some images as well. And these are just screen grabs from the video. I know that because of the watermark on the video. So jumping back into Wix, jumping back into this blog post that we are ready to edit, I'm first going to edit the title, and I'm going to use the very last video that I created for Wix as an example and copy the description. It's like I took a lot of time to write that description, so I'm going to get the most out of it by using it here as well. And there'll be a little bit of formatting I'm going to want to do, spread out the text a bit. And then to edit the image, I actually just delete the image. And I will move the cursor somewhere in the middle of this text just to break things up a bit. Go to Add, Image. It's going to load up the images I already have on the website, so I'll just use this one again. Give you a good example. Put that there so everything is looking nice. And I do usually have a supplemental image or two to accompany each blog post, like the stuff I post on Instagram, or I can just take screenshots from the video and add those in, just to show you how easy that is. If I go here, go full screen, and on a Mac, a screen grab is Command 3. Go back here, go to Ads. When you do Command 3, it saves that screen grab to your desktop. So we'll take it straight from the computer. Open the screen grab. There we have it. So it's nice to have some text and then an image and some text and then an image, and the add button actually gives you lots of examples of things or options for things you can add. You can add like a divider, a button, you can add a gallery of photos or a chunk of HTML code. And don't let this scare you. This isn't asking you to actually code. It's more about copying and pasting bits of code from different places on the internet. One example would be if you're working with like an ad server, they would give you a chunk of code where you put that onto your website and then their ads flow through it as a way to monetize your site. It would also be like if you're using an affiliate banner, so like what the banner is going to look like, they would give you a little chunk of code. That's where you would paste it. Another example would be Instagram. If you want to put an Instagram photo in, like link an Instagram photo through rather than uploading your own photo, which is good because it links back to your Instagram. You can go to Instagram, and on any image, you would just take these three dots here embed, and I think it's best to turn the caption off. Copy embed code back to Wix. You're gonna paste that there. Hit save. And I did notice this before. It was a little bit off-centered, but fortunately, Wix has these handy tools to help you change things. So now it's looking pretty good. But of course, the real reason we're all here is to add that video. This is the title of the video, so I'll just post that in again. And go to add, go to video, just paste the URL. That's all it wants. Add, boom. Now the video is right there in the blog post. And it might be better to put it toward the top, but for the sake of demonstration, that works for now. And that is how I generally write my blog posts. I might do more or less depending on the situation, usually more if I have more time, but either way, just having that video in a blog post with some text and some images and some additional content is just gonna give it more speed on the internet. So I'm gonna go ahead and add my last, I don't know, so many blog posts, see how long it takes, just to get some organization going so I can show you the next steps, which are kind of like organizing things into categories, and you'll see. Let's get going. Okay, and even with her here, that was quicker than what I estimated. Those blog posts took about 30 seconds each, although they were just bare minimum blog posts, and I will go back and add to those later. It did get me a minute to get my flow going, and I discovered a few things. One was the ability to use copy, paste, and match style to keep that spacing that I had over on YouTube, and also the way to add a link and make it look neat, because YouTube makes you just stick the link next to the word. But on Wix, you can copy that link and then highlight the text you would want to link it behind. Then you go to this little link button and paste it in, so it looks nice and neat. Now remember, the whole point of these blog posts in this situation is to give your brand and your videos even more of a place on the internet. So each blog post is an opportunity for your content to fall into the keyword searches that your target audience is looking for. Not necessarily on YouTube, but on the internet as a whole. But to maximize your chances of ranking for these keyword searches, your content must be optimized using SEO strategies. And lucky for us, Wix provides lots of great SEO tools to kind of walk you through that process. And I too will walk you through that SEO process on Wix in the final video from this series all about SEO. So stay tuned for that and jump on my email list to be notified when that video is released. It's going to be about a month from now. And now that we have my most 10 recent blog posts in place, here is where we can really play with those categories and also display settings. So first of all, just taking a look at what the blog looks like on the page, I am highly annoyed by the cropping off of my beautiful thumbnails, which are the 16:9 aspect ratio, video aspect ratio. I didn't create these graphics specifically for this layout, so this layout's not gonna work for me. And what I can do very simply is just go into settings. So take me back to this very familiar menu, and under, let's see, under layout, we can choose a layout. And based on what I just said, a lot of the layouts do crop them out because they're more made for vertical images. And maybe if I had like an Instagram sized 8x10 vertical image for each blog post, I could put that in as the main blog post image if I wanted. But to keep things simple, I discovered that this tiled layout is best for the YouTube videos. And I thought I was gonna have to go in and plug in my JPEG thumbnail graphic to each blog post, but I didn't even have to do that because it is pulling the video thumbnail and just putting it as my blog post, my blog post image, which just like saves so much work. I can't even explain it. So it's great, but if I did want to, for some reason, change that blog post image, all I'd have to do is go back into Manage Posts and then Edit, Settings, and I can just say Update, and that's gonna take me into my regular media thing where I can upload the actual thumbnail or a different thumbnail or whatever I want. Now this settings area beyond layout is really powerful. We can change layout size. One thing I did right away was crank up this number, which is the number, posts per load. So it was set by default at 3. And, you know, I just wanted, so when you go there, you just see all the posts right away and you can kind of choose what works for you. And then also, for example, under display, you can say whether or not you want the author name. So it kind of takes away all these little details. Also, when we go back into manage posts, one thing that was important that I forgot to mention was to hit publish when you're done crafting a post. Seems kind of obvious, but I wasn't doing it at first and they weren't showing up. So that is important. And then moving on to showing you how to manage categories so you can display different chunks of your blog in different places on your website if you have enough content. You'll go back into where you edit each post, the selection here where it says categories. I create a category, which is what you would do. I already did that, so I already said gear, so I'll just select that because on this page, which is all of the video production gear reviews, I'm only going to display those videos. So I'm going to go through these and choose just the ones that have to do with gear. And then once everything is marked with the category, in order to show only those posts, we're going to go in to add blog and add a post list. And the post list is going to give us the option to select the category that we want to display. So here is that post list, and then under settings, we can choose a category, all posts or gear. Nice. And then similarly, we can change the display, the layout. Oh, and we can actually choose the 16:9 aspect ratio. Isn't that lovely? Yeah, so there's lots of different ways you can play around with the look of things. And just to show you now that I have the blog structure in place, let me show you what I do when I go back to the home page to just pop that blog in. Just gonna say my blog pages, blog. So that's just gonna add that in. Settings, again, play around with that layout. 16:9, which is gonna be perfect for like all YouTubers. And this one, I'm going to choose the category because it's still popping up as just the gear, but in this instance, since it's on the home page, I'm going to say all posts. So then it's going to be my 3 most recent posts. And there you have it. There is the final look of the website with some of the blog posts added in. And I'm so excited to continue to add more blog posts and just build out this website and really make it nice and bulky and just get those feelers out all over the internet to attract people into my videos. And I highly suggest that you do the same for your YouTube videos. So go ahead and grab that link to Wix if you haven't yet. Jump in there and get started on your own website. Leave me a comment below and let me know any questions you have about this whole situation. And also leave a comment and let me know if you've created a Wix website because I would love to take a look at it. You can also find the links to all the videos in this series about building a website with Wix in the video description below. So go ahead and watch those if you haven't already. And I will see you guys in the very next video, which is all about SEO. Important stuff. All right, see you then. Bye.